It's episode 12 of the live weekly watch-along. Girls, guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. I'm joined by my co-host, Pokey Dean, the one and only. Thank you so much for jumping in. I cannot believe it's been 12 weeks that we have been doing this. Yeah. This is insane. Do just want to mention, Dean has been competing this weekend at the championships.
EUIC.
Yeah, I can't believe it's over.
Yeah,
it's
that
done.
was honestly the most mentally taxing weekend ever.
It was heavy.
Yeah,
for you
very
definitely.
heavy.
For you definitely. And you've got a bit of hay fever going on.
Yeah.
So
My eyes, I look like Kermit the Frog.
They are very, very bloodshot. So we got the glasses on to help use that because we've got a very bright ring light in front of us as well. So yeah, we are back from EUIC. We were there from Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And Dean's wearing sunglasses. Yeah, green tea is actually because the eyes are not doing well.
I would show you guys, but they're very puffy. Very puffy.
So yeah, we got back this evening, and overall it was a really good weekend. It was very busy.
Saw lots of cards, saw lots of people. It was jam packed.
I feel like it was kind of like at World, you don't expect to see what you're actually gonna end up seeing and coming across, and a couple of things we ended up buying are actually in the auction tonight. So it'd be really cool to see where they end, seeing if we've overpaid, if we've got a good deal or what's going on. We got Chloe, member for 5 months. Chloe, thank you so much, really appreciate you. Thank you for jumping in. We're going to do a few shout outs in the chat. We got Green Tea as always, we got Austin, we got Frank, we got John, Chuck, Damien, welcome in everyone, PSA1, Charizard, Bing Bong, love the name. Daniel, welcome in. Dean's gone all Hollywood on us.
I'm big time now, people.
He's too big. So yeah, EUIC was brilliant, so much fun, and I feel like these events are always just over. Like, we have this massive build up to them and then boom, they're gone. But yeah, overall you enjoyed it?
Loved it.
Because obviously, like, big competition for you to be jumping into as your first official, like.
Yeah, it was literally my first ever event, taking part in the TCG, and it is long days. I have the utmost respect for the players, because they are put through it all. 12-hour shifts of just non-stop playing. It's very, very intense. But like you said, there's so many sides to it. There's the playing side. There's seeing a lot of people bringing in their collections because there's like trade sections.
Yeah.
And we saw champions, or we saw like world's cards. We saw really rare cards, like you mentioned, cards that are in tonight's auctions that it'll be really interesting to see if people are kind of keeping up with the market prices,
as well,
or they're trying to get a little bit of a premium being in person, or it's just really, really nice to compare. So.
Yeah, no, exactly. And Spooky Grim, thank you for so much, member, for 15 months, and great use of emojis there with the Frank emoji.
Yes.
We love to see that. Yeah, and what's interesting is, like, a lot of the time when we're at these events, the trade area is kind of like an unofficial section that happens outside of the actual event itself. But it's funny because a lot of the things we've seen, especially the higher end stuff, loads of them on the auction on a weekly basis, but also you get people actually pulling up last solds on these auctions to be checking against where the market is for a lot of these cards. So it will be interesting. Like I said, a few bits we picked up and a few bits we probably saw on sale and like available, so we can do a bit of cross-referencing if we remember some of the pricing to see if things are sort of sitting where they should be, or if they've gone over, or if they've gone under. But yeah, overall very good weekend, and we've been looking forward to this particular stream because if you remember last week, if you were here last week, we do this every single Sunday. Just want to mention it's 2 a.m. UK time, 6 p.m. Pacific time, and at 9 p.m. Eastern time that we start here. We run for about 2 hours, just an hour before extended bidding starts, all the way through to the end of the auction. So we're here every Sunday, and we always try and have a little look ahead to what's coming up next week as well, as like a little teaser. And I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram, but make sure you are doing so, because that's where I post about anything upcoming, whether it's a stream I'm doing, an event I'm going to, and that's where I capture everything. I actually did a reel on one of the big cards that is in the auction tonight, and a few of you are probably going to know what it is because we did a little sneak peek. It's on the thumbnail. It's very, very obvious, but we'll get into that in a bit. Tonight there's over 3,500 Pokemon items, and that's just Pokemon. I think when I looked earlier, when I was filtering everything down, there's over 22,000 items on the weekly auction this week. So just a reminder how many cards, how many products, because it's not just cards, we're talking boxes, cases, packs, loads of different things are going through the PWCC auction on a weekly basis. And this is just the weekly auction that we cover, guys. They do also have their Premier auction. They do also have their fixed marketplace as well. And I'm thinking one time it might be fun to actually do a live during the Premier auction, because that's where it gets really, really spicy. If you think we've seen heat during the weekly, the Premier takes it to a whole nother level. So that's something we could actually try and do. Whether it's the next one, like, because it's on a monthly basis, but we'll have a look at dates and we'll see if we can run something like that, because again, I think that'll be really, really exciting, especially those that are interested in the real high-end market. But the weekly auction covers everything from $5 all the way up to currently, which I'll show you in a second, $27,000 is the top item sitting at tonight. So whatever you're looking for, whether it's raw cards, slabs, packs, cases, booster boxes, they've got a little bit of everything. And we're talking modern all the way to super, super vintage. So I think what we'll do is I think we will take a jump on the screen and we'll take a look and see what's running tonight. And here we are, the familiar screen. So if you're not familiar with any of this, later on in the stream I'll run through how all of it works, how to use the website, etc. It's actually had an update the last couple of weeks, so again, if you haven't been here for a couple of weeks and it looks a little bit different, the website has had a little bit of an update. There's a few more features on the filters as well, which is really, really cool. Just helps you narrow things down if you're looking for something very specific. Obviously there's a search bar as well. As you can see at the top, I've typed in Pokemon. So up here we can see 3,501 results this evening, and we've started highest to lowest, but we're going to cover everything tonight. And something exciting which we're going to implement from the next stream onwards, we're going to do some segments within the stream that we thought would be pretty cool for us and for you guys. We're not sure what they're going to be yet, but I'm thinking something like picking our top 10 of every week, and again, it can be anything, all price ranges, or we might have the chat suggest like what the segment should be, where we do like a special chat selected segment. That is a tongue twister. That is a tongue twister.
We might need to abbreviate that one.
Where we do our top 10 every week, for example, but we also get the chat to suggest a little segment that we should do, whether it's like a 10 or 15 minute, because we want it to be as fun and interactive for you guys as well. And as always, in case you haven't noticed, every single week, the one and only Top Mod Green Tea pins the link to the auction that's currently we're looking at now at the top of the live chat. So you guys at home can actually click on that link and you can follow through as we're going. And for example, if we're talking about an item you don't have much interest in, you can actually just be flicking through and looking what else is there. Guys, already we got people noticing some big items, and just want to remind you in the live chat, please let us know, are you bidding on anything tonight? Are you selling anything through PWCC? If so, what are they? What are you looking for? What are you selling, etc.? So I think we're going to get going. And one thing I do want to mention very, very quickly, like I said, tonight's episode 12. Next week, we are in Paris at La Gala, the first French card show that we're ever going to. Very, very excited. And I believe some of the guys from PWCC are actually going to be there.
Oh, nice.
So we'll get to see them and catch up. So next Sunday, we won't be streaming. I will be putting out some content, though, related to next week's auction. So again, keep an eye on socials. However, I will be back the following week live from Florida. I've never streamed abroad before, but I'm going to give it a go, and it's actually going to work a little bit better because I'll actually be on US time zone. So you're going to have to bear with me on that one, but hopefully it will be as smooth as we have on the setup here, because we don't want you to miss out on the weekly auctions, basically.
You can't miss on all the heat.
No, exactly. There's too much. So let's get started. And again, as always, we open up lots of tabs. We're going to do a quick skim through the high end, and then we're going to start working our way down. So first up, now there's something different about this particular listing, which I will mention in a minute. But first up, we have a PSA 10 Gold Star Rayquaza. This is from EX Deoxys, one of the most iconic, notable, and expensive Gold Stars out of all the Gold Stars from the EX era. So this is actually the card that I did a reel on this week, which was pretty cool. And I'm going to start doing more things like that, picking out some cool items every week. Now, as you might notice here, there's a little video with this one. So normally we see this little video when it comes to sealed boxes, sealed vintage boxes in particular, because they open them up, authenticate them, which we'll see shortly when we look at the Team Rocket box. However, I believe they've probably done this with this card because of the caliber of the card. It's a real high-end card, and it just gives you a little bit more insight. And there is talking over this video. Obviously, we've got it muted at the moment because obviously it would be clashing with us, but It will be a bit of descriptive information, basically. And as you can see on the right-hand side here, they've gone into a little bit of detail about a lot of bit of detail about the history of the card, the background of the card, and what you're actually looking at here. So yeah, Gold Star Rayquaza, PSA 10, 21 million cert. It's actually a fairly old cert. Yeah. I think we're on like 73, 74 million now.
74?
Yeah, which is...
Like last month was like 71.
Yeah, it is wild. Yeah. It is wild. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful card. Obviously an awful lot of money. It's not something you can just go out and be... I mean, maybe you can. Maybe you've got that kind of disposable income.
Personally, no.
Yeah, personally, no. But if you can, then yeah, all the best to you. So yeah, really, really nice card. We will keep an eye on this one, obviously. I personally am not a Gold Star collector as such. I have owned this card a few times, never in a 10. It's a beautiful card. I can understand the appeal behind it. But yeah, very, very expensive card. Yeah. And probably one that I won't ever own, to be honest with you. Like I said, I'm not an EX era collector, really. I'm not a Gold Star collector, really. But I don't know, maybe down the line, if the opportunity rose and it was correct timing, correct price, etc. Green Tea just pointed out something interesting, and we see this a lot, not just with this card, with loads and loads of cards. The crazy price between a 9 and a 10. Sometimes when you look at 9s and 10s on lots of cards, it is so I don't even know where the like reasoning comes from with the 10 price against the 9 when you're thinking it's that one grade, but the jump is like
crazy,
is wild.
And I just saw in the chat that PokeKid said I would take a 9. That's a good thing to point out. Would you guys be okay when it becomes this sort of price range? Obviously, everyone's chasing for 10s, but when it gets a little bit crazy prices, would you guys be happy with just a 9? Because realistically, the difference between a PSA 9 and a PSA 10 is minimal.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, not everyone can afford $27,000. So.
And what's interesting, there's actually a PSA 9 up tonight as well.
Still not cheap.
Still not cheap.
But
this is
considering.
Yeah, 5,250. And guys, just a reminder in case you are new here or you're here every week and you forget, this current price you see is not inclusive of buyer's premium. When the auction ends, buyer's premium will be added on top of that. So just in case people think, oh my goodness, why does the price jump so much at the end? Buyer's premium gets added on at the end. So yeah, this is a 9. This is a 10. You can see big price difference, but the 9 in this particular card is also very, very expensive. You might see with some other cards that it's, you know, below $1,000 in a 10, and it's north of $7,000-$8,000 in a 10, but in a 9 it's like under $1,000. So that's where you start seeing big differences. Again, still a big difference here, but the actual 9 price is still a real high price as well.
I think we saw one recently with the Suicune EX.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, the 10 was going, was it?
Magma vs Aqua. It was a big difference. I think the 9 did end up creeping, but I think it got to like $1,200-$1,300, whereas the 10 was, I think it was $9,000, roughly, give or take. That was a few weeks ago on the live auction as well. So I'll keep these two up next to each other because we can do a little comparison there. But it's quite rare actually that the biggest ticket item,
just gone up,
literally just gone up as we're talking. It's quite rare that the biggest ticket item has the same card in a 9 on the same auction with a card like this, for example. So interesting to see.
I'm going to check the pop report of
so Dean's going to do a little bit of looking there. So yeah, I mean the butler, we need to get him a mic. We need to get him on the mic over there in the back. He just made a good point. So at the beginning of the stream, I mentioned about the premiere auction, which is, again, it's not as regular as the weekly, and it's for the bigger ticket items. We see, you know, we've seen a little bit of everything on there. Creatures, deck Charizards in a you know, all that sort of big stuff. He made a good point as to why the person who's selling this chose to put this on the weekly rather than the premiere. Yeah, is that a choice the seller?
We're not sure how that works.
Actually, it doesn't say anything in the description. Maybe I'll ask PWCC about that. That could be interesting. 107 in the set. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Sorry, Butler just giving us some tech tips there. Right, so as we can see, some big items. We've got a first edition Mewtwo in a 10, currently at $10,500. This isn't the first time we've had a first edition base set Mewtwo in a 10 up, because I remember it was one of the bigger ticket items probably about 6 or 7 weeks ago. And I can't remember off the top of my head where it ended, but it wasn't a bad price. We have got a first edition rocket box, and again, I'm just going to quickly open this so you can see. I sound like a broken record, but I will tell you every single week, every single time. This is what we normally see with the boxes, like we saw with the video on this Rayquaza, which we don't see as often with the cards. With the boxes right here, they open them up. They cut the seal, they pull all the packs out, they show them to the camera, they talk through it as they do it. Obviously we've got it muted, and then they tamper seal it back up. So as you can see, all these silver stickers right here are the box tamper sealed, and you see everything on video, so you've got peace of mind what you're buying is authentic, and all that good stuff. No, these are not all my cards. If I had 3,500 cards up tonight, I would be my pockets would be very full by the end of it. No, these are basically what we do here. We watch the live weekly auction every single week, and these are lots of different people's cards that send into PWCC to sell. Right, we keep going. We've got a first edition base set Venusaur in a 10, so a couple of first ed base hollows tonight in 10s, which is pretty big. We got the Japanese Crystal Zard in a 10. We've seen this a few times since we've been doing these streams. We got the first edition Snorlax from Jungle in a PSA 10, currently at $8,500. Very popular card, fan favorite. This is something that I don't think off the top of my head, since we've been doing these streams, I've seen. Now, just for reference, we have been doing these streams since the end of January this year. Like I said, episode 12. And it's very rare. Do you know the only time I think we've seen it is with a set of Topps cards off the top of my head. This is a first edition base set, master set with the 16 hollows, all BGS graded, and all authenticated as well. So there's a mix of BGS grades and NBA authentication. I'll talk about NBA in a minute. The BGS grades are between 5 and 8.5, and then the rest of the cards are authenticated. So basically NBA, and that's M for mother, is a authentication service, Mike Baker Authentication, and they authenticate the raw cards so that when PWCC are selling them, the buyer has that peace of mind. The raw card itself has been authenticated as a genuine card, so it's not scored 1 to 10 like you see with PSA, BGS, CGC, etc. It's just the card being authenticated so that there's peace of mind that the buyer is buying a real card. Going to keep this one open, just really interested to see. And this actually contains thin and thick stamp, and what they mean by that is the first edition stamp that's on the actual card. There's a variation. So yeah, that's a pretty cool thing to see. This, absolutely love this card, design contest card, with the spiky eared Pikachu in a PSA 9, very big card. Low pop on this, 1 of 4, and there's only 1 graded in a 10 as well. So yeah, very sought after. $6,500. We've had a little chat about these design contest cards, mainly the Zoroark and Zoroark set, which we've seen up before. They can be niche. They're maybe not as they don't have as many eyes on them. Maybe some collectors aren't as aware of them, I find. But they still hold big prices for the right person looking for them. They're
starting to pop up a little bit more often, though.
And as you can see, this one here is sitting in a 9. Population 1 of 4, $6,500 right there. Again, we got more first edition base set in 10s right here. We've got the Rayquaza. We've got a no rarity Charizard, Japanese, in a PSA 7. Big card, no rarity. Even in a 7, it's sitting at $5,000 currently. We got Tropical Mega Battle, Tropical Wind. I absolutely love this card. This is in a PSA 4, sitting at $4,500. Again, very, very big card. What's the butler laughing at? Oh, okay. Oh, Team Europe in the chat. Team Europe, let's go.
Welcome everyone that's just jumped in as well.
Welcome in. How are we doing? You're at the best place you could possibly be on a Sunday right here. So yeah, as you can see, lots of big cards. We've got Japanese base Zard in a 10. Now, this is a pretty cool one. You don't see up too often. And again, when you do see it up, very expensive card. This is the Staff Stamp Charizard, the Evolutions pre-release in a PSA 10, huge card, especially in a 10.
We saw a few staff cards
today. Over this weekend we've seen quite a few staff cards being at the championships, not this one in particular, but staff cards always hold that premium as well. And $4,300 that one is currently sitting at. So we're going to keep going. This one we actually pointed out when we were looking ahead last week. This is an interesting one just to keep an eye on. This is a sealed case of XY Evolutions booster boxes. So in a sealed case of any set, you get 6 boxes. And this is what this looks like. You got the stop tape, you got the little label on the side as well, which explains what set is in there. So yeah, sealed case of XY Evolution. So XY Evolutions is based on the original base set, which a lot of you are familiar with. Obviously, there's the Charizard right there with the staff stamp and the evolution stamp as well. We got Viltrum, 3 months already. Time is flying. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. So many member milestones. Thank you everyone for the support. It's just wild to think there's so many people that have been here for so long on the channel as members as well. So I appreciate you all.
I'm glad you're enjoying these types of streams. This is very different to what we tend to do.
Different content, but you guys have been loving it. So we're going to keep doing it. This one right here, interesting one we need to talk about. These cards have just absolutely skyrocketed. So what's interesting tonight as well, and quite fun, we're actually going to see where these cards originate from. So if people aren't familiar, these come in a particular box, which we'll get to shortly. There's actually a sealed box of both the Luigi and Mario up tonight. So this is the PSA 10. This is the full art Mario Pikachu. It also comes in a half art as well, which I'm sure we'll see as we are looking through. The price on these 10s, on these full arts, has gone from 0 to 100 recently. I think the last time we saw this sell on PWCC, it was just over 5,000 with buyer's premium. And it's just the highest I've seen it, basically.
We actually saw one of these raw.
Yes, we did this weekend, yeah.
The only problem was it had a slight dent in it, didn't it?
So obviously that's going to bring the grade down. It's not going to be a 10. I've graded multiple of these myself. Mostly come back 10s. I think I've had 1 9 grade in this. But out of the full set, where you get the full art Mario, full art Luigi, and the half arts as well, the full arts are definitely they hold the higher price. They're a bit more sought after. Beautiful, beautiful cards. But just something to bear in mind, these aren't vintage cards. This is 2016 we're looking at here. So this is what I would say is a modern promo. We're not talking modern as in this year, but 2016 wouldn't qualify as vintage in my opinion. So even modern promos, I know this is a particularly spectacular modern promo, but holding these sorts of prices, which
it's just
is
such an
huge.
Iconic collab between 2 mega companies.
I mean, they need to do something again.
Yeah.
Everyone keeps saying that.
A lot of people thought they were going to do Pikachu Zelda crossover.
Yeah, I heard a lot of that.
25th anniversary.
But nothing materialised. So whether something will happen, I'm going to keep that open. I need to see where that ends. Lots of Charizards, as always. Some Shadowless there. Japanese Gold Stars. Now here they are. The sealed boxes. So this is what the box looks like that the Mario Pika comes in. Obviously, he's on the front there. It's a red box. And then you've got the Luigi box as well. Obviously green, and it's got Luigi Pikachu on the front. So this is what these sealed boxes look like. Inside you get the cards, you get the 2 cards in each, the full art and the half art. You get sleeves, you get dividers, you get do you get the deck box inside? I haven't opened. I've actually got 2 on my backdrop, but those are opened. I opened them quite a long time ago. I think I've actually got a video on my channel opening up both of them, but the video must be a couple of years old now. It's been ages since I've done something like that. They're really cool display pieces to have on a backdrop. I like having the empty boxes on the backdrop. They look really cool. But will be interesting to see where the sealed boxes end tonight against the price of where the graded cards are currently going. I think last time I bought both sealed boxes, I paid around 3,000 for them. But you can already see just the Mario boxing at 2,900.
Chloe's
and the
put a
Luigi.
really good question. She said, do you think they've bumped up in price with the release of the new movie, the Mario movie? Maybe.
That's actually a good point.
Maybe. I mean, it's hard, obviously, because it's not direct. The movie's not directly linked with Pokemon.
Yeah.
But I think
it could have fueled a little bit of
I think
hype.
Mainly it's just because it's such a unique card, and we haven't seen anything like this.
We're seeing a few things start to creep up in price at the moment, not just cards in particular. So I think there's a bit of a spike coming in certain parts of the hobby. I did just want to point this one out quickly. We've actually seen this 3rd anniversary phone card up a few times now. This is in a Beckett 10. I don't know if we've seen it in a 10 since we've been streaming these auctions, but we've definitely seen it a few times, only in Beckett slabs. Very cool card. I don't know if it's something I would personally collect. However, it is pretty iconic with the Pikachu, the Pikachu, Blastoise, Yeah, Venusaur that are actually on the card. So yeah, interesting one, but quite an expensive one. Obviously, if you're not, I don't know, if you're not just a main set collector, maybe it's, But yeah, just thought I'd point that out. We've actually seen this quite a few times. Right, we're going to keep going and see what else we have got. And guys, if you've just jumped in, thank you for joining. EUIC was brilliant. Dean had a
very long weekend.
Pretty full-on weekend.
Yeah, and bad hay fever, which
the
eyes
in at the are right time. Struggling, so the shades are helping them tonight. Here is the full art Luigi, just to point out so you can see. So there's the Mario, which has actually just jumped up in price, and there's the Luigi. So again, beautiful cards. There's the box it comes out of, which we don't normally have available to show, so it's pretty cool as well. So we're going to keep going. We've got Evolving Skies seal case. We've got that's Italian with the lovely Cosmos holo right there.
Now those ones that can easily slip by, because obviously the Pokemon name is
this one English, in particular, yeah.
Because we saw a few of these today, this weekend.
Yeah, I saw modern and vintage that
you can easily buy something and be like, wait a minute, oh, this is in a completely different language.
So there was a few weeks ago. Yeah, is it this card here? Is this the one that keeps popping back up? So this card here has been graded by Beckett in a 10.
With the wrongs.
It's the Crystal Ho-Oh, but it's been misattributed by BGS as English. They haven't differentiated that this is actually German.
Yeah.
So I think what's happening is, and can happen a lot, people are seeing the name of the Pokemon, English. They're seeing the label on this one in particular not pointing out another language, and then they are missing the fact that the body of the card, the text is in German. I feel, is this the same one that's popped up a couple of times? I think so. It is. So I think what has maybe happened is maybe the last couple of people who have bought it haven't noticed, maybe. But yeah, it's even more slightly confusing when the name of the Pokemon reads as English, but the card itself isn't. And obviously when the label isn't pointing that out, you can understand how it gets missed. Yeah, so that was literally the example I was going to give, and the card is sitting right there. We got a Burning Shadow Zard up in a 10. Huge card, really hard card to pull. We've both been lucky enough to actually hit it live on stream for people before. We've got a Tortank.
Yes.
It's not a Tortank, but it is a Tortank. Right, guys, we're going to do it early tonight. In the live chat right now, please tell us, last card standing. You don't have to tell us the card exactly. You need to tell us what Pokemon will be on that card. What are we going for? Let us know.
What? Oh, Butler's gone Pikachu.
Have I missed that scrolling through? Or is that on this page? I think it might.
No, I'm going to go Mewtwo.
It is today.
I'm going. Oh, Green Tea saying too early to pick. You got to pick, brother.
No, you got to pick. We're doing it early. I'm putting pressure
Mewtwo.
on. I'm going Pikachu. I'm going to go absolutely boring, but
you've picked Pikachu a few times.
I have.
You've gone on the fence.
But it's never won me. So
we'll allow it.
So Butler's going specifically the E3 Pikachu, which I may have scrolled past, but I don't know if I have yet. I think it's just below these. Right, going to open this one in particular because literally just picked this up this weekend. So I am putting the set together of the what's known as the screen promos. They're the Munch cards, and I picked up the Pikachu this weekend. I've still got the Mimikyu to go. I've still got the Psyduck. The Mimikyu is very expensive, so we're going to have to wait.
And apparently we found out that the Psyduck's really hard to grade.
Yeah, apparently it's very off-center generally. So getting it in a 10 is not something you come by.
So that might be a surprisingly expensive one.
Was really happy to add this to the collection this weekend. Again, if you follow the Instagram, you'll see it. Right, some guesses. We got Pikachu, Mew. Neil's just gone battle styles. He's just gone generalized battle styles. Rayquaza, Mewtwo, Mario, Ray, Zard, Snorlax. Interesting. Yeah, I love this Pikachu, and yeah, really happy to have added this to the collection. I'm going to keep this open because I'm very intrigued to see where this goes. And there's two of them up tonight. We've had this conversation before. No. 61 mil and 42. Had this conversation before. If you owned multiple of the same card, because basically what we've seen is like mainly with more modern cards and those stamp promos in particular, we've seen like 10 PSA 10s all on auction together, some of them even sequential, pointing out it's probably owned by the same person and they've just sent the lot in. Would you do that? Do you think it damages the price?
Personally, I wouldn't. I think that you're kind of undercutting yourself. You're opening up the opportunity where some could go for a bit cheaper than maybe everyone puts their attention on one of them.
Yeah.
Where it's probably best to kind of space them out a little bit, but everyone's at a different
depending what they're looking for, how quickly they
situation
need
where
money.
they might need money, they might just want to flip them, they may be sitting on a lot of them and they go, right, I'm just going to do 10 at a time, so we've got so many to get through.
Because obviously you can't help the fact if someone is sending in the same same card as you, but sending in multiple yourself, then we got Neil, member for 20 months. May as well use my last members chat for the foreseeable future out of the way. # battle styles all the way. Neil, your dedication to battle styles never ceases to amaze me. There's a third one here actually as well.
Oh yeah,
interesting. Mewtwo gold star in a 9, Latios gold star in a 9. Here it is, the beauty itself. I have tried to grade this card in a 10. I have never done it. It's very hard to do. This particular is the Red Cheeks variation, the E3 stamp Pika. You can see the E3 stamp right here. I love it. I just think it's such a cool card. I graded it multiple times, never hit a 10. I think I've graded this in like a PSA 4 or 5 before. Didn't even see the dent on it, but we all make mistakes. Is that the one we picked up
in America?
Or
was that before?
No, never graded that one because that was beat.
Right,
that was in bad
that was
shape.
Not worth.
That was not worth it. Chloe, Neil is your battle styles expert and your battle styles king. He will never talk badly on battle styles ever. I'm going to keep this one open because I just want to see where the 10 goes. Right, okay, we're going to keep going. So lots of goodies up tonight.
Tour tanks.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen an actual tour tank yet, but
it's definitely tour tank.
We'll go with it. We got the Rayquaza EX. This is a really cool Black Star promo. I actually bought the Butler this promo once. Did you grade that and it hit a 9? Yeah. Didn't hit a 10. I apologise, but beautiful card. Right. Here is Mike Baker Authentication in the flesh so we can have a look at it. So, when you see this on the PWCC auction, this is not a graded card between 1 and 10. It's not a NBA 1 or an NBA 5 or an NBA 10. It's graded... It's certified authentic. It says it on the label right here. And basically, it's just the raw card, but they are authenticating that it is a genuine card. So they will all have a little video where you can see the card itself. This one, a particular expensive single. We don't see this too often. And this is the Shining Gyarados it's the Japanese Shining Gyarados. Currently sitting at $1,325. Really, really nice. So this here, it's not a slab. It's like a top loader with a label, basically, is the best way to describe it. So this is the authentication service that work with PWCC to authenticate raw cards. So just wanted to point that out as we came across it, but you'll see it a little bit more. We got graded games this evening as well.
Oh, that's such an iconic game.
Going to keep pushing through to see. We're going to keep working our way through. So there's 140 odd pages. So lots and lots. We'll get through as much as we possibly can. We normally don't get to see all of it. Next up, we have got some autos, and we're actually seeing Mitsuhiro Arita next weekend. So this time next week we will have seen him at the French card show that we're going to, which is really cool. I've never ever had an auto before. I've never met an artist before, so it'll be a first time for me.
For me, it's great because Charizard's my favorite Pokemon. Base set Charizard's like one of my favorite cards, and getting to meet the person who designed that one. Yeah,
doesn't get any better. So we got Saitu there. We got a Rita signature there. So this is a unlimited base set Zard. Oh, no, this is 4th print. 99 to 2000.
Just one of 2 pop.
Yeah, that's interesting. So 99 to 2000, you can see there. There's a lot going on in this label. They've had to write a lot. So it's Charizard, it's 4th print. And basically, they've only graded the auto. So it's authentic. And then the auto is a 10. It says to trainer, Mitsuhiro Arita. And we got the head sketch of the Zard as well, which is pretty cool. So, yeah. Just thought I'd point that out.
Very nice.
Cool, seeing a 4th print as well. We got a PSA 10 Grand Party. Love this card.
Green Tea says the Blue Eyes White Zard is back up. Is that the blue one?
Oh, no way.
Is that the right? Is that one you're talking
auction?
About? Oh, there it is.
Oh, no way. So, this must be like 8 or 9 weeks ago. This was a while ago now. There were 2 cards. Hold on a minute. Green Tea? Is this a different card? This is a 70 million cert.
That's a different one.
This is right. So, about 8 or 9 weeks ago, there were 2 cards on auction. There was a Charizard that looked exactly like this and a Coro Mew.
Yeah.
and they were what you could only describe as severe sun fading.
Yeah.
However, I don't think this is the exact slab that was up all those weeks ago, because this is a new cert, and I don't think the other one was that new.
I don't think so either.
Can we remember what the Charizard went for, guys?
It
yeah,
went for
Mike's
a lot.
saying this is a different one. The Mew went for $3,000.
The Zard was like,
the Zard went for like $8,000,
Yeah.
didn't it? Yeah,
It was
I
a
think
lot.
it was like 8,000.
keep this open.
Yeah, we're going to keep this open. Green tea, what a spot. Thank you very, very much. We were about to scroll past it, but thank you very, very much for pointing it out. So, yeah, it's the only way I can describe it is just blue ice white Zard.
So then the question is,
Is
is this being done on purpose, or is this actually an error that is someone else has found one exactly the same?
After seeing Mike saying someone saw how much it went for, took their beat up copy and threw it under the UV. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying though, Mike. Like, maybe is someone doing this on, like, is someone figured out how to do it, or is this actually a legit like error card that is a thing?
I think we came to the conclusion that I can't remember. Someone found, I think there was an E4 forum about, I don't know if it was about the Zard. I think it might have been about the Mew. I can't remember, because that stream was wild.
Yeah.
Like, that was like I think we focused on that like the
For a
whole
while,
time, because we just hadn't seen it before. Gonna keep this
and
one
it went
open.
for so much.
Yeah, which is what. Yeah, the Mew was made to look shiny.
Well, the Mew's already
the Mew
shiny.
was already shiny because it's blue. Yeah, the whole card looks shiny, for example, not just the Pokemon. But it's almost like an optical illusion, this. The more I look at it, the more it I don't know what I'm looking at.
I feel like we should reference it as the Blue Eyes White Zard.
I think we're going to go for it. I think we're going to do it. Right, we're going to leave that one open just because we're interested. We got more graded games.
You actually pulled this in English?
I actually pulled this in English earlier today.
Yeah.
A friend of ours gave us a Pokemon pack to open, and I hit the English. Unfortunately, I don't think the one I pulled is going to get a 10, Pim, if you're watching. I am going to grade it, but I don't think we're going to hit a 10. Maybe an 8. It was quite off-center, a little bit of whitening on the back. But yeah, pretty cool. I don't think I've ever pulled that Gengar from Phantom Forces before. This is Phantom Gate in Japanese. So yeah, that was a very fun opening. We got to do some fun things this weekend. Right, we'll keep going. Lots of Charizards. And again, as you'll see, we've got Charizard, we've got CGC, Beckett, PSA, variation, different slabs, SGC. I think they're the only. Have we ever seen any other grading company slabs? Like, have we ever seen like Ace, for example, or any of the?
Haven't Ace.
No, I'm trying to think. Have we seen anything? I don't think we have, unless we've missed it where we've never got far enough.
Is that a 10? 9.
An 8. Could be one to add to the collection.
One day.
$600.
One day.
So we're just going to try and go to that middle mark. Just see, we've got another Grand Party and a 9, so we've just seen it in a 10.
Yep. So I've been looking more kind of mid-range type products, and there's a lot of Japanese Team Rocket up today.
Okay, we'll see if we can get to that. Chloe's just asked, do they get graded as sun damage, or they get sun damage after graded? It's that card is like that prior to it going in a slab, which is why they don't grade it 1 through 10. They're getting the card authenticated because obviously it's a damaged card basically.
Talisa says, Dean, how did the tournament go? Talisa, I'll have a video coming out. It was the craziest experience I've ever had in my life. So hopefully you'll get to watch the video and see how it went.
It was a really good weekend.
I will spoil. I'll tease it a little bit. My first ever opponent.
Oh no!
So this is my first ever event. My first ever opponent, official tournament opponent, was Piper Lapine, who has won 2 regionals this year. That's what I'm gonna say.
Dean was absolutely challenged from the outset, but you did very well. And it was a long first day as well.
It was very long, 12 hours, 9 a.m. start.
And you only had like a half-hour break, really.
I've never experienced anything like it.
It was like back-to-back playing the entire time. It was.
And I got hay fever all weekend, which made my eyes really puffy. So it was very.
Yeah,
I was against all the odds.
Yeah, literally. Just wanted to point out here, there's a raw E3 Pika. Red cheeks as well. Might keep my eye on that just to see where the raw version goes. Might just take a little look on condition with this one.
Not too bad.
Not too bad. Yeah, nothing crazy on there. Okay, I'm going to keep that one open just because I'm intrigued to see where that one goes. Right, we're going to keep going, guys.
Can't wait for Card Party, John.
Card Party's going to be great.
Getting closer and
We've
closer.
Got to sort some details for that this week, actually.
Yeah, that's creeping
There's
up.
so much we need to organise. My stress levels are starting to
I love
rise.
that.
Oh,
Legend
yeah.
Maker Mew.
We were actually talking about this in the trade area at the convention this weekend. So this is the Mew from Legend Maker in a PSA 10. Lovely card. Really, really nice artwork on this one. Love Legend Maker. We don't really open EX era packs very often. So, yeah, I really, really like that. Okay, let's keep going. Let's see what else we've got. We've got the Korokoro Mew. Speaking of the devil. Again, they're literally.
But this is what we're talking about.
Every single.
Are they sequential or anything?
Let's have a look. 64. Yeah, they are.
So this is what we were saying.
Someone has just graded multiple and they've sent them all in. Interesting choice, but we're seeing it very often with that particular card as well. Talking of Worlds, this is the English Champions Festival from London Worlds.
Yep.
Last year, we saw a few of these this weekend. We saw people actually selling the sealed packs that they come in as well.
Picked up
this one here in a 10. So in the sealed pack, you get 11 of these cards, and they're all in different languages. The one that is currently going wild is the Japanese, and the Japanese one actually has silver borders and fits obviously the normal Japanese.
It will be interesting. If this year's one will have silver borders, if all of them will.
If all of them will, yeah. Because obviously we've now changed over even in English to silver borders, and yellow borders are becoming a thing of the past. I think it's the Japanese, the Indonesian, there's one or two more that have silver borders in the 2022 pack. But yeah, this is the English stamp right here. As you can see, it's on the scans, the gold doesn't show up. No. Star stamps are always really dark. These champion stamps are always really dark. You can hardly see them. But in the light, it looks lovely. It's like a really bright gold. It's just the World Championships, and that says 2022. And I really love this one in particular. Obviously, this was held in London, and the artwork, they're in one of the bubbles on the London Eye. You can see Big Ben in the background, which is pretty cool. So yeah, love that. So that's the English variation. But like I said, you get 11 cards in total, and they are all different languages in the pack.
Go up one. Yeah. On the left, that one there, the Cardass. So that is from Ken Sugimori. Yeah. And I think this is why this one goes for quite a lot.
Was this one up in a PSA 10 the other week, and it went for thousands?
It went for a lot. So yeah, Ken Sugimori, who is the person who created Pokemon. This is his actual. I think these are like early, like kind of drawings from him. So I think this is why this one goes for quite a bit compared to like the ones of just one Pokemon. We saw this in a PSA 10. It was recently. It must have only been a couple of weeks ago, and it was hefty price. Yeah. It was north of 5,000, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. It was big. And I can understand why now, because I never really understood why, but I think because it's Ken Sugimori, it's such an iconic artwork as well. Yeah. It's sick. Also, that Pikachu melts me. How cute is that? That's a really, really nice card. Right, let's keep going and see what else. We've got some black labels, Beckett black labels this evening. Bear in mind, we're now on page 7 and we're already at like the $300 mark. So just a bit of an indicator. If you're ever thinking these auctions are out of my league, I'm not going to look at them or watch them because there's nothing I can afford. There really is. We're going to go to the right other end, the lower end, page 147, I think it is. And you'll see where we are on that. What are your guys' thoughts on Portuguese cards? We actually saw some very interesting Portuguese exclusive EX promo cards. It was like half decks. The like they look like a DVD case almost. That's a very good description. Basically looked like a DVD case. It had the artwork of the promo. So there was like a Lugia, which was the Game Boy Lugia. And then you flipped it over. It had on the back the promo showing. And they were really cool, and they were literally Portuguese exclusives. Apparently, the seller said you can't get them anywhere else. Yeah. So yeah, there's some cool Portuguese cards. I mean, personally, I don't collect Portuguese cards. But yeah, there's some cool actually exclusive. So good. That's an interesting comment considering we just saw that. Don't think I've seen this before. This is a Celebration GPC on its own on auction. So this came out for the 25th anniversary. 2021, so not last year, the year before. I can't believe they're that
old. That's
Sword
the right
and Shield
term.
has felt like it's gone in
It
a
has
blink of an eye.
flown by. So these were like
Gold dust.
gold, literally. Right, do you remember ages ago there were articles of literally people fighting each other in the supermarket aisles and doing god awful things for Pokemon cards? This was one of those items that people would have a scrap over.
Yep.
Basically, here in the UK, for example, you couldn't walk into... Number one, our supermarkets don't sell trading cards like the likes of Walmart and Target do. It doesn't exist here. They do have trading cards, but they don't have a big section for it. You're lucky to find a sleeve booster on a shelf, let alone anything else. You couldn't even walk into your local game shop and find these sitting on the shelf. For example, you had to register your interest with yours, and it was like they were getting one or two. And you think they serve. Some local games, again, we don't have as many on every corner like I feel like we see in the States. But if you think there's 30 odd people that are, have a keen interest in Pokemon and we're looking for them, it's not a lot for a brick and mortar store. These were just impossible to get in the UK is the only way I can describe it. They weren't on shop shelves. The shops that did get them literally were getting 1, 2, 3 and 4, if that. You had to register your interest prior, and obviously at that point they're only letting regular customers do that. They're probably not letting anyone just walk off the street and be like, oh, you're getting the Celebrations UPC and can I have one? They're gonna hold back for their regular clientele. So these were tough. However, when we were traveling to the States around the same time, there weren't loads, but we were seeing them on the shelf in a few game shops. And I don't think
the price was already up though. It was double the price.
It had already jumped. And obviously one of the reasons these were so sought after and wild, Celebrations itself was a wild set when it came out. People couldn't believe their eyes. We had the original 3
Classic
back
collection.
in there, the classic collection. And then you also got the metal promo cards, which we had never seen before. We're talking the Charizard and the Pikachu, and it was the original base set artwork that they were based on. That was like the hype and hysteria with it. And even now, I feel like this is still... in comparison to the Charizard UPC, this is in its own league.
I was about to say in the chat, if you had the choice of a Zard UPC or Celebrations, which would you go for? And the other thing, it's definitely worth keeping this up because... PSA are now grading the metal cards.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting to see if people are going to try and pick these up to grade the metal Charizard and Pikachu card. And hopefully maybe we'll start seeing more of those pop up because they're very unique cards again. Metal, base set Charizard. They're really, really cool.
They're cool. It was a really cool idea. So basically what happened when they released them, initially everywhere was accepting them to be graded, including PSA. And then after about a month or two, PSA realized that their cases weren't working for the metal cards. Basically they were using the same case as just for a normal trading, just a regular trading card, and it meant there was a lot of movement, and I think the metal cards were actually
they chipped
receiving damage inside the slab even once it had been graded. So they decided to actually put that on hold, and it has been well over a year. Well over a year that they worked on a new resolution to be able to grade these, and about a month ago they announced that they were taking submissions again.
A lot of people saying Celebrations, which makes sense.
I get
because
it.
It feels like there was like 5 times the amount of Zard UPCs printed compared to Celebrations.
I mean,
Celebrations seemed like there was like hardly any.
Owning we own an online TCG store. We don't have a physical store at the moment. But even then, we got 10 ton of the Charizard UPCs. Just jumped up literally there. Whereas couldn't get any Celebrations UPCs. So just a pretty cool one to see on the auction. And again, 2021. So this is a super modern product as well that we're seeing here.
Dr. Spidermax has put a good comment. Said last sold for only the Pikachu and Charizard Gold is 280, which almost buys the UPC back if you just want to kind of recoup.
Yeah, if you want your money back.
At the same time, they're definitely, in my opinion, a good hold just because we haven't had any card like that before.
Yeah.
And it's so iconic. It's base set Charizard.
Yeah.
But like I said, worst case, you're kind of making your money back on the UPC.
And we did actually see metal cards make a comeback in the Arceus UPC at the end of last year.
What did they call that? Was it the Ultra Premium as well?
Yeah, it was the Ultra Premium. So it was it got released in the States like way before it did here. And it was a kind of different shape. It was a lot thinner and longer. And it had the Arceus V and V Star, and they were metal. I personally preferred the Celebration GPC ones. I thought they were nicer. We're seeing some modern booster boxes here. Sun and Moon Guardians Rising. And do you know what's interesting? So at the championship this weekend, there's a prize wall where people come and collect points by playing, and they can redeem their points against items on the prize wall. And the prize wall is there. It's put together by Pokemon. And it's not just, you're probably thinking, oh, there's a Scarlet and Violet booster box, or we saw Hidden Fates boxes. We saw Sun and Moon Guardians Rising collection boxes.
Burning Shadows ETBs.
Burning Shadows ETBs. XY Roaring Skies collection boxes. Shining Legends collection boxes. Bearwalker skateboard. But like, we're talking product that's like 2016, 2017.
Like, they don't sell it anymore.
But they have it for, which I thought was really interesting.
So if you guys ever looking to play, definitely check out those sort of events, because you can
get your hands on
things
that you might not expect.
Yeah, you can win some really cool cards.
I saw some people walking around with some collection boxes. I was like, yeah, that's from the prize wall.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? I saw that.
Again, I'm just going to mention it. There's always lots of Gold Star dogs.
So I want to make a comment on this.
Yeah.
We know the story behind the Gold Star legendary beasts, dogs, cats, whatever you want to call them.
Beasts.
Is there going to be a familiar story? Because we've heard some things circulating where
I think something's about to happen, shall we say.
Moonbryons appearing, a lot of Fusion Strike cards, rainbows,
every rainbow rare alt art you can possibly think of.
Which means do you think the price of a Moonbryon's going to start declining a little bit?
So for me personally, that the price that card sits at, with the amount that there are, doesn't make sense for me personally. I've never quite understood how it's got to the point it has, especially with some graded copies. Considering graded in a 10, right, I don't know if anyone's got the current pop, but we were talking just under 5,000 graded in a 10 the last time we checked. That's not included any graded lower or any raw copies. So just an indicator as to how many are out there and are in circulation. And that's just the Moonbryon as well. There's no other alt arts I can think off the top of my head that have gone too extreme. There's a few that do fetch a healthy price, but
we've entered the extending bidder, by the way.
I've just seen that. Chloe, that's what we're talking about.
Chloe, tag me in the tweet. I want to read that tweet. But we've seen some cool stuff on it, or not cool stuff. We've seen some certain.
But basically, I think it was about 8 years ago. There was an incident with the legendary Beast Gold Stars where they were I don't know what the right word would be. Unlawfully, maybe is the right word.
Yeah,
removed
acquired
in the incorrect way.
Yeah.
And thousands of them hit the open market, and there's pictures online of binders with hundreds and hundreds. Yes, of course you can, Chloe. Yeah, that's not a problem. You can drop it in the chat. And we've just seen a similar thing. Now, this incident with these modern cards actually happened, like Green Tea said, in 2021, and I believe it's been under investigation for a while, and the cards were confiscated in this particular situation. But yeah, it just shows that things are still happening, and we don't necessarily hear about them immediately as well, because Pokemon have been dealing with this, I believe.
And the other thing is that this has only come about because someone's been a little bit stupid enough to kind of post it.
Yes.
How many people are out there that are doing this, and they're not saying anything. They're just doing their thing.
There's a lot that happens that does fly under the radar until it gets on socials, but this is a prime example.
Where is it? Bane's put, it's almost at 6,000 PSA 10 Moonbryons.
That's what I mean.
6,000. That's wild.
To me, it just...
There are more certain cards graded of one card than there are of a whole set of a
literally
Pokemon set.
So for me, I just don't think it. I just wouldn't buy. I don't know.
I'll just
I
be
think
patient.
it's just, I'll
be patient. But you
don't
never know.
I mean, Green Tea's just pointed out, so we're talking all grades here. There's 7,551 Moonbryons graded with PSA. And right, again, when we're talking about this pop report, we're only talking one grading company here as well.
Yeah.
We're not including CGC and Beckett. We're not including any of the other smalling grading companies. We're not including Raw Cards.
Mm-hmm.
It, like, when you start to then really sit down and think about the numbers, it's kind of unexplainable, but just thought that's a good point that we brought that up, because that's currently hot on socials today. Anthony, member for 1 month. Love your guys' dedication for staying up so late and doing these. Cheers from Colorado. Do you know what? I had a solid 4 hour sleep before this stream.
Yep, same.
I feel vibrant. I
feel good,
vibrant.
apart from my
Especially
eyes.
We had a long weekend, so I had to get in and go to bed because I had to retain the energy. Right, guys, we are just going to do something real quick before we start going to the lower end and more to the middle. I'm going to try my best to get through as many pages as we can, but every single time there's just too much heat to talk about.
Well, now we're back at the Rayquaza at the front, right? We're speaking about Moonbreon there being 7,000 graded. I'm looking at the Gold Star Rayquaza pop. There's 47 in a PSA 10 and a black label. Okay, it's black label Moonbreon, but still both 10s. Yeah, went for what, 12,000? It's currently like just under half.
Make it make sense.
Yeah, it's
but
interesting.
Obviously these are our opinions, these aren't facts, but again, I know, people are welcome to share their opinions in chat about things we talk about as well, because it's interesting to know what people's take on these sort of things are. That's why we do these streams. These are things we don't talk about or don't get the chance to talk about in our weekly streams that we do, because we're opening packs and having fun with you guys. This is the complete other side of the content, where we get to talk about the market and things that I just don't make content on other than this, basically.
Should we make a prediction on what we think the PSA 10 Gold Star is going to end on?
Yeah, guys, in the chat right now, where do you think the Rayquaza Gold Star PSA 10 is going to end? And while you're doing that and letting us know, so basically what you're seeing happening now is the extended bidding period. So when we first started doing these streams, there was extended bidding, and it was different from what it is now. So extended bidding previously, you had to have placed your initial bid before extended bidding started to be able to bid in extended bidding. So you had to have placed your bid before 7 p.m. Pacific time on the items you were interested in to then bid after 7 p.m. Pacific time. However, now there's something called all access extended bidding. They trialed it once, it went really, really well, and they've carried on doing it. And it kind of makes it even more fun, especially at the end, because it gets a little bit like...
more people can get involved.
Yeah. So basically what happens, extended bidding has started. You can see at the bottom right here, we got some numbers in green, some numbers in red. Basically, this is showing us what's going on with this card in this current bidding window. So the current bidding window now is 7 till 7:30 Pacific time, and it's currently 7:05. If a card does not get a bid in this current half an hour window at 7:30, it will end. If it doesn't receive a bid between 7 and 7:30, it will end. If it does receive a bid, it will move into the next window, and that next window is 7:30 till 7:35. It then starts getting down to 5-minute windows, all the way up till 8 p.m. Pacific time. And at 8 p.m, if there are still cards left, they move into 1-minute bidding windows. So if the card doesn't have a bid on it between 8 and 8:01, it ends. If it does have a bid, it moves between 8:01 to 8:02. Hopefully that makes sense. I will try and mention that as we go a lot more. I try and say it as much as I can. I know we get carried away chatting sometimes, which is great. So down here, and it's quite a good way to initially look at the screen and know where the cards are. Anything green down here is now going to be in the next bidding window. So this is actually going to push through from 7 till 7:35. Anything red, if it doesn't get a bid, it will end at 7:30 and it won't move into the next window. So basically, the first extended bidding window is half an hour. Then it's 5-minute between 30 and 8. We've just had some dogs bark. Butler, he is with the fairies. The butler has left off. Butler.
Do you want to get him and I'll explain?
Yeah.
So basically, guys, if you're looking...
Frank emergency.
The dog's going a little bit crazy. If you if you see green, it means it's moving into the next window. If it's red and you're interested in an item, you best make a bid, because after that time ends, that means the auction will end for that item. So if it's green, it's good. You're moving into the next one. You still got a chance. Or if you're bidding, you're going to have to wait until it moves into the next window to see if you've won. If it's red and you're looking into getting that item, make sure you bid, because, for instance, this Mewtwo, if there's no more bids, it will end on $10,500.
Plus buyer's premium.
Plus buyer's premium, yes.
Which it will basically, when it ends, it automatically adds that on, yeah.
So anything you're looking at now does not have buyer's premium included, which is 20%.
Yeah. I've never had to shake him like that to wake him up. And when he woke up, he wasn't with us. He was on a different... I didn't think he was going to wake up there. I was like, butler. And then he went...
Give him a stiff little nudge.
He hasn't napped, bless him. So he is very tired. But literally, I thought I was going to have to go and deal with Frank there. But we're all good.
David says, you know you're inside. Yes, David, I was taking part at the EUIC, and the lights have been crazy. But I also have had hay fever. I might sound a little bit nasally. I suffer from hay fever, so my eyes have gone really puffy. So.
We have a very bright ring light on, and it's only going to make it worse if you don't have those glasses on. So
I'm not trying to look cool or anything. It's just
he's been wearing them most weekend as well.
Yeah, I've been wearing them at the event too.
Right, so now we're down to the lower end. So as you can see, this is the $5 mark. We have everything from raw modern cards to graded modern cards to graded vintage cards to other language cards. So I don't ever want to hear anyone say, I don't get involved in these auctions. There's nothing in my price range. $5, guys, all the way up to currently tonight, nearly $30,000. So whatever you're looking for. So down at this level, we've got a lot of CGC today. We got quite a lot, actually.
Yeah, I saw a lot of Japanese Team Rocket.
You did say that. What page is that? So we can jump to that and have a little look.
Page 10 and 11.
Okay. We've got some raw cards. You're seeing the NBA raw authenticated cards there. So literally, as you can see, 146 pages. It's a lot. It's a lot of items. There's 3,501 just Pokemon items tonight.
One thing I would suggest, guys, if you're looking to get involved, and obviously sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming because, as mentioned, there was, 3,000 at the beginning?
Yeah, it's a lot to get through.
If you're trying to look for a certain card, definitely use the search bar at the top of the screen, as you can see up here where we put Pokemon. Say you're interested in the Pikachu, type Pikachu, it will show everything that has Pikachu as a keyword. So if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed and you kind of want to get involved or have a look at something you're interested in, I would definitely recommend you kind of figure out what you're looking for. So maybe you want to get a Pikachu card.
If you know exactly what you're looking for, you can narrow it
It's
down
a good way
really
of starting.
easily.
Yeah.
And I will actually, before we look at anything else, just talk about the filter on the side. So again, if you've been watching us pretty much since we started these streams, or you've used the PWCC website for a while, you'll see that the website has actually changed and been slightly updated. So on the left-hand side here is where you can filter everything down. I will show you how to navigate here from the homepage as well. But up here, you've got your weekly, you've got your fixed price and your premier. So we want to focus on weekly because that's what we're looking at here. Here you can view all items, flash items, favorites, my bids. So if you're bidding on anything, you can literally just filter it down to those and watch those. And then you can choose your weekly auctions. So you can actually see the 2 past weekly auctions if you want to go back and check some prices. And you can see the current auction, and you can also see next week's auction. We will have a look at what's coming up next week, as we do every week. And then you've got your category. You've got everything you can think of. We're talking sports. They've even got coins and currency now, comics, Pokemon, everything on there. You can filter it down to the status. You can choose the year.
That Charmander's sick.
Yeah, that's right up your alley. That's really cool.
Yeah.
You can choose the great. So basically, if you are a really strict PSA collector, or you're only a CGC collector, or you're only a BGS collector, you can filter it down now to the particular grading company. So if you're only interested in seeing PSA slabs, and you got no interest in any other slabs, select PSA. That's all it's going to bring up for you. Again, you got all your different options there. Some of those
games
are graded games. NBA is the company that authenticate the raw cards. And you can even do pricing as well. There is loads of filters to choose from. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty easy. If you do want to sit there and look through all the pages, you can do. But if you are specific, if you really know what you're looking for, I know a lot of time people jump on here because they just want to see what's on offer, and then they end up maybe jumping and bidding on some bits that they weren't even expecting to because it's pretty cool and it popped up. But if you are particularly looking for something, whether it's a particular Pokemon, a particular slab from a certain grading company, cards in certain grades, you can do all of that. So it's pretty user friendly basically. So we're on page 10 I think at the moment, and we're down at the $190 mark. We actually saw someone with quite a few of these half art ponchos.
Big Pikachu collection.
Yeah, the person that we actually bought the Scream Pika from, which was pretty cool. We got a perfect Marnie here. So this is Sword and Shield based, pretty popular, what you'd call a waifu card.
One of the main characters from Sword and Shield era.
Yeah, that Charmer, that is really cool.
Yep, I like that.
Pot 1 of 5 as well. That would be a cool one to just add to the collection, just to have. I like something a little bit unusual sometimes. We got alternate arts at this level. You still got vintage at this level.
Even the Charizard I just saw, I think it was a 6.
Got Masaki promos at this level. Like you got a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Jumbos, graded jumbos, we see a lot of these as well. Obviously with graded jumbos it comes in a much larger, I haven't got one to show, but a much larger style case with PSA. The only thing I get a bit funny with jumbos sometimes, any time I've graded a jumbo, they've normally come back slightly wonky in the case.
Oh, really?
It's hard to explain. They're in they
just don't fit as well.
You can see like a plastic layer basically holding them in. Yeah, and every time I've graded one, they're like the slightest tilt, and it just bothers me a lot.
The OCD kicks
Yeah,
in.
we've got some real nice rainbows. We've got the Charizard and Braixen GX from Cosmic Eclipse. So Cosmic, Sun and Moon era, 2019 set. Still a really popular set. People absolutely love Cosmic Eclipse. It was actually the final set in the Sun and Moon era. And I feel like they always know how to end an era, because we've just had Crown Zenith and the Sword and Shield era. And I mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
No, definitely not.
We're with Sport for choice. We've got the
card.
Pikachu and Zekrom there from Team Up in a tech. Can you see the colour difference on that scan as well, by the way? Bear in mind, Sun and Moon rainbows, they're the same. The Sun and Moon rainbow is much nicer than Sword and Shield, in my personal opinion. Quite a few graded games tonight, actually, as well. We're going to keep going. So as you can see, like modern sort of, we're, $160 mark now. We got more Masaki this time in an SGC slab. We got Bandai. We still got first edition at this level, guys. PSA 8 Dragonite. First edition from Fossil at $155. More Cosmic. This is a popular one. This is what we call character cards in Cosmic. This kind of style is now known as the sort of Trainer Gallery, Galarian Gallery art rare in some of the more modern sets.
Ooh, very modern
nice
cards.
So obviously this is the Japanese version of Crown Zenith, what we call V-Star Universe. So this came out at the end of last year, and then Crown Zenith came out at the beginning of this current year. So this is the Giratina and the Giratina, both in PSA 10s. Very nice. We've seen a lot of these playing card style cards on every auction, I think, that we've been watching so far. But like I said, a little bit of everything. We've got the Arceus right there, again, Japanese V-Star Universe, beautiful gold cards. Really nice Mewtwo there from Breakthrough Full Art in a PSA 10. That's really, really nice. Have you pulled that before?
Yeah, pulled it. I've also got 2 in a PSA 10.
Damn. Mr. Mewtwo over here.
Yeah, love my Mewtwo and Charizard.
So there's 14 minutes, guys. So this is where cards have to get a bid, otherwise they won't be moving into the next window. Is anyone in the chat tonight bidding?
Yeah,
Chloe, what are you bidding on?
Hopefully you win.
Let us know, or if you want to tell us. If you don't want to tell us until you've won the items or not won the items, that's absolutely fine.
If anyone's bidding, you can let us know. Say I'm bidding. You don't have to tell us what.
Yeah, you can say I'm bidding, or you can say exactly what you're bidding on. And again, like I mentioned, if you're selling, we had Bane last week selling the ETB collection, which was really cool to see.
That's probably one of the coolest things.
So what I'm going to do is, like we said we were going to do segments of like some of our, like, say, top 10 cards every week. If there is ever collections like we saw that ETB collection, which is fairly rare to see someone with, nearly every ETB putting them up, we'll do little segments covering those sorts of things, and we'll go into a bit of like background on history on those particular items, just because it's pretty cool. That's a great answer. Always bidding. We got is that Oh my goodness, I need
PNW,
glasses.
yeah.
PNW. I'm currently bidding on 3 cards. Chloe's
Sacktown
just been outbid. Yeah, lots of people. Oh, Kyle bidding on the Dragonite on that page. Damn, it's the alt art, the Blue Sky stream. So this in
Beautiful
English
card.
is Evolving Skies. Really, really, what people refer to as like the sleepy Dragonite, basically. PSA 10, really, really nice. Actually pulled this. Well, you pulled this Shining from my box break a couple of weeks ago now. The Shining knocked out. Yeah, it was last week. I'm so lost as to what day and just where we are and what we're doing. So just a reminder, we won't be here this time next week, but I will be coming to you live from Florida. And then the week after, I'll be coming to you live from Dallas. So it's the first time I'm ever going to be live streaming, not at my setup or in the UK.
Twice in a row.
Twice in a row. I won't have Dean with me, but I will have
Sleepy Butler.
He is ready. And guys, he's actually done a PWCC stream before. Because you were, I think you had an event. Oh, you were, you were ill. So the butler has been
a great 2023.
He's been initiated, shall we say? So yeah, you guys can look forward to that. It obviously visually our face cam will look a little bit different, but we'll still be looking at the cards. So that's all that matters. And it'll probably actually be a little bit more in line, because it will be on a better time zone as well, which will be fun. So yeah, we'll be coming to you live from Florida. Maybe we'll show you the view in the background as well.
AKA Bane has put, just watching this week, good luck to all the bidding people.
Appreciate you being here again.
Danish Jamal says, bidding on the Charizard EX Fire Red Leaf Green PSA 8.
Nice.
I find it a really good copy. Going to crack it open regardless. Congrats.
Are you going to put it in a binder or?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's that's a grail card for me. I want to add that to my collection at some point. I'd love to get that in a PSA 10. So yeah, no, congrats. Hopefully you win it, Jamal. Oh, this is
quite
a few
people. Yeah, so wanted to bring this one up in particular. I bought the Pikachu World set
ages ago.
A long time ago, like 2.5, 3 years ago now. Didn't grade it for ages and then sent the whole lot off for grading. Got a few 10s, few 9s, but I absolutely, this Polish one is like one of the more popular ones.
Cool.
I really, really love this one. Really, really nice card. And then we were talking about it earlier. I'm putting together the screen promos, the Munch retrospective cards. This one in a PSA 10 is hard to come by because the common problem with this is centering, and you can actually see literally here the centering much thicker on the left than the right. So yeah, that we'll just be looking for that for a long time. Hey Chloe and Dean, met you guys in Orlando. Oh no way.
Oh yeah.
Hope you are doing well, Harrison. Lovely to see you. Thank you for jumping in. Are you guys going to the US for
NAIC?
Is that the national? Is that the abbreviation for the national in Chicago in July? Because yes, we will be there. If so, we're going to be going to the national and then heading off straight to Japan. It's going to be a busy year. I feel like the craziness has started just now with this weekend was like the...
I'm just trying to work out the jet lag on that one from America to Japan. I don't know what time zone we're going to be in, but it's going to be interesting.
We're just going to be.
We're going to be. We're going to live.
Doesn't matter what time zone we're in, we are going to be.
Can't wait.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Are those both...
celebrations?
Yeah, they are. Are they sequential? Oh yeah, they near enough are again, so possibly the same person sending these in, both in a 10 as well.
Jamal says, yes, I'm going to put it in my binder. I washed up my own copy in the laundry last weekend. No.
Oh no.
Why was it in your pocket?
Yeah, here we go. Someone has gone ham right here. Again, probably not ideal if you're wanting to get the best price. But
are we going to start seeing a few of these?
Something wild happened this weekend, and I actually almost feel illegal saying it. Someone asked me to sign this card.
Yeah, I signed the
and I did it.
Yeah.
Please don't cancel me. They were insistent that they wanted some really cool alternate art signed. Probably will never do that again. I felt literally like I should be locked up after doing that. But there we go. We do something fun every day. It's all part of it. Right. There is 8 minutes left on this bidding window. So let's keep going and see what other modern cards and sort of $100 mark cards we got. Oh, there's two more right there.
Are we going to start seeing a lot more of those after...
After the...
Have to wait and see.
Yeah. And like I said, we got graded packs as well. I did mention at the beginning, it's not just cards, booster boxes, sealed cases, packs, games. It's a little bit of everything.
Boundaries.
Charizard right there. More graded games. Charizard V. This one in a PSA 10, isn't it like pop 12,000 or something? Absolutely sickening. Like, yeah. So just again, obviously still kind of a card to pull, but it just gives you insight into how much was printed. Like how much more is out there in comparison to, like, you were talking about the pop on some vintage cards earlier.
But they still fetch a healthy price.
A pretty penny.
Yeah.
We got some EX era here. Right.
Left.
We're just going to deep it for a second. This is a 2006 holo. I know it's a shiftery. Give him a chance. He's not the most popular Pokemon. In a PSA 10 from Legend Maker is at $120 versus some modern full arts and all arts that go for...
Yeah.
Do you see how it, like...
I don't understand some of these, but personally,
EX era holos at a 10 in a 10 for 120. You can't go wrong with that.
It comes down to popularity.
It does. It comes down to supply and demand. But just wanted to point it out because it gets me every single time. But just in case you ever wanted to put together,
got a bid on it too.
Oh, PSA 10 EX era holos or reverses, and you have thought in your head before, never going to be able to afford it. So far out of my price range. At the $120, $130 mark, it's not completely unachievable. It's something you can actually save and work towards. We're not talking thousands right here. So just a little insight if you ever wanted to grab. Obviously, some of them, more popular Pokemon, are significantly more expensive. However, if you do like something a little bit more unusual, it's here.
The thing I'd say is that you're going to find cards that look absolutely stunning that you may have not realised
even exist.
Yeah, and some of them are able to get, like you mentioned, there are going to be the ones that are very popular, like Muse and all those sort of things that will fetch a much bigger price. But if you like, I know people like interesting Pokemon, like Crobat. I think we showed a Crobat off on one of the auctions once, and someone literally went and bought one because they said they loved it so much. I think even Butler was. The Butler bought one.
Yeah, just look over there. The easily influenced
what
over
set
there.
Was that? Neo Destiny.
First edition. We've got Champions Festival here in a PSA 9. So this is the English version we saw in a 10 earlier from Worlds last year. We got some Time Gazer all arts here, the Dialga V. So this is the Japanese Astral Radiance in a PSA 10 right there. So again, we're at the $100 mark here now, people. $100. We still got Japanese Level X. We got Japanese. Oh my goodness, 2010 Worlds promo. Do you know what I picked up last year? And I think I've still got it in my slab case. I have got the Lugia. The 2010 Lugia World Championship promo. Beautiful, beautiful card. The Ho-Oh is lovely as well. Really, really nice right there in a 10.
My friend did a Shining Fates pack at an event last week and got the Charizard.
No way. That is a hit.
Shift Tree. That was almost hard to say.
Pop 22. Low pop.
Wow. Oh my goodness. That Togetic.
That is beautiful. Look at that swell. And do you know what? A lot of the time with these like low pop EX, like Diamond and Pearl, Platinum era, they can fetch quite a big price. So, but again, I get it. Not the most popular Pokemon, but it's up and down. It's up and down. Right. We keep going. So on page 16. There's 4 minutes left, guys, of this extended bidding period. So if things don't get a bid in these next 4 minutes, they are going to end. If they do get a bid, they're going to go from 7:30 till 7:35. So again, all arts. We've got promos here from the 11th movie there in a PSA 10. That's really, really cool.
Really cool. And just to let you know, there's 3,501 items up at the moment. So it'll be interesting to see when we move into that next window, how much
where that drops to. And guys, do remember, if you haven't told us already because you've just jumped in and you missed the bit where we mentioned it, what's the last Pokemon standing? Let us know. You don't have to tell us the card exactly, but tell us the Pokemon that's going to be on that card. We've got this Persian here, Japanese Gym in a PSA 10. Really, really nice card. These Arceus are beautiful as well. Cool. Love these. And just a reminder how extended bidding works. So basically at 7 p.m. Pacific time, the extended bidding period starts. You used to have had to have placed an initial bid. You don't have to do that anymore. You can bid. Anyone can bid. when extended bidding starts. However, that first half hour in extended bidding is important, because if bids aren't placed between 7 and 7:30, they will end at 7:30. If bids are placed, they will run from 7:30 till 7:35, and they will run for 5-minute increments all the way till 8 p.m. And then anything remaining at 8 p.m. will then go down to 1-minute bidding windows. So it has a minute from 8 till 8:01 to have a bid. If it doesn't get a bid, it will end. If it does get a bid, it will keep pushing through as well. Melvin, welcome in. How are we doing? Thank you for joining, guys. If you just jumped in, just a reminder, please hit that like button. Also, if you'd like to follow along, you can actually click the link at the top of the page. You can actually look through the auction yourself. We've got lots of people bidding tonight, so I'd be really interested to see what people win. Some people are being a bit coy and quiet about what they're bidding on, which is absolutely fine. You can tell us if and when you win the items or what it is afterwards.
What's up, Melvin? Hope you're doing well, bro.
We got the 10th movie promos right here. I absolutely love these. In a PSA 10, $88.
Is that Flare on EX?
Yeah, Japanese in a 9.5.
That
Mewtwo
is
really
so
nice
cool.
cards here, guys. Really nice cards. And now we're below the $100 mark. Below the $100 mark. Emerald reverse Pikachu right there in a 9. We got some all arts Japanese Lost Abyss right there. So that's Lost Origin in English. We're going to keep going, and then we got 1 minute left, and we will go back and have a look where some of our high end is going. We've got the Cracked Ice Articuno. Love the Cracked Ice. Really, really cool holo effect.
Armored Mewtwo.
Armored Mewtwo. Really, really cool. Comes in... I actually bought the tin off you one time, didn't I? For the English variation. These are the... I'm just going to scroll up so you guys can see. These promos right here. I don't know why I'm pointing at the screen like you guys can see where I'm pointing. This one, Jolteon right here. These are the VMAX promos that come in the Evolution. Evolution Premium Collection boxes. You can't pull them from packs. You can only pull them... they sit in the front of the box. You got Jolteon, Vaporeon, and Flareon. And for me, the Jolteon is my favourite VMAX, and the Vaporeon is my favourite V. What about you?
I started off the same, but the Vaporeon VMAX is my favourite VMAX.
It's
and
really nice.
The Jolteon V is my favourite V. So the other way around.
Yeah, the Jolteon VMAX just tips it for me over the Vaporeon.
I like the backdrop of the Jolteon in the city.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that V is beautiful. I do agree. So yeah, you can see we're now at the $82 mark. We've got so much. Again, we're seeing lots of people. Well, whether it is the same person or not, like I said, you can't control if someone else has sent in
the same card up.
Yeah, but we got a lot right there. So yeah, we've got modern and vintage still. There it is in Japanese. Oh, that's the Flareon by the fire. That is the definition of happiness. That's cozy by the fire, not a care in the world. Just don't lean too close, otherwise you'll go up in flames. This is the Japanese Scarlet Violet.
I'm a big fan of these EX Terrors.
The Gyarados and the Arcanine. The Gyarados is a beauty. I haven't pulled it or opened it really in Japanese. I've only been opening English, but it's been a super fun set. Right, there's 4 seconds. Shall we have... Oh, are we going to do it?
Quick. Oh. Okay, Ray's still here.
Okay. Let it... It takes a couple of seconds to do a little bit of a refresh.
Oh,
right.
No, Ray's gone.
Okay, so...
Oh, wait, what?
What?
What just happened?
Right.
It said sold. I was still going.
I think there was a glitch in the Matrix right there, because I'm going to refresh. And if it disappears, it's sold. If it didn't, it's still there. I think that might have just been a glitch. Yeah, still there. So the Gold Star Rayquaza is currently at 29,000. Did we see what people guessed that it would end at? I feel like we might have asked and we got absolutely carried away. Guys, if you did guess, what was your prediction? It's just had a bid going up to 29.5. What was your prediction on what you think this will end at? We're talking the EXDX's Gold Star Rayquaza right here. And as you can see with this one, they've actually done a little video. Very, very big card. We've also got it in a 9 this evening. It's not very often that one of the biggest ticket items also has a 9 in the same block at this kind of level card.
Do you want me to give you the difference in pops?
Yes, please. Dean's got some facts here.
So I mentioned there is 47 in a PSA 10. There are 204 in a PSA 9. So that's why there's probably a massive difference in price.
But still, even in a 9 sitting at over $6,000, it's still
204. Still, well, it's not that.
It's
when you compare it to a 6,000 Moonbryons, it's not a lot
in
at all.
comparison to some. We've just had Echo. I just won my 3 Excuse me, my hiccups are coming to battle me here. Just won 3 PSA 9 Crystal Guardians Bulba and 2 Ivy Swords.
Nice.
Very,
Congrats,
very nice. Echo, congrats, guys. Do let us know as some of the auctions are starting to end. What have you won? If you got outbid on anything, what was it you were bidding on? Do let us know. The sealed first edition Rocket Box has gone up to 10,000. We've seen some really healthy pricing on sealed vintage at the moment. Yeah. Not just, well, WotC, but a few other sets as well. But yeah, we're seeing, I feel like prices are possibly starting to creep up a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like they're being maybe like a steady increase, but they're seeming to go around the same sort of price, which is cool. They're pretty consistent at the moment.
Mm-hmm. So this is really cool. We looked at this earlier, but again, we're just doing a little recap right here. This is what you see on that first picture is all the graded hollows from first edition base set with BGS. And then on this picture right here, you see the slabs and then every other card. So this is a master set and it's a mix of graded and non-graded cards. So NBA have authenticated the raw cards and Beckett have graded the hollows. Between Beckett 5 and 8.5 on the grades, and it contains thin and thick stamps as well. And when we're talking about thin and thick stamps, we're talking about the first edition stamp on the card. We've got the Pichu, the spikier Pichu going up to 7,250. Again, really low pop on this one. Population 1 of 4. There is just one graded in a 10. This is a PSA 9. These are these design contest cards, which again, feel like they're a little bit slept on. I love this card. Not currently something in my price bracket I'd be able to spend that sort of money on. Yeah. But again, we'd love to be able to have some sort of more niche items like this in my collection one day. We got the staff stamp. Oh
wow, that's a big
jump. Flying. This is the staff stamp pre-release Charizard from Evolutions. It's a big card in a 10. In case you're wondering, staff stamp is there on the left hand corner in case you're wondering what we mean by that. So it's the pre-release Evolutions Zard, and then it's got that staff stamp on the left hand side, currently at $5,500. Okay, so we've had some predictions here on the Ray 40,000, 32,000, 33,000, 32,000. Okay, interesting. It's just bumped to 30. So guys, remember this still isn't inclusive of buyer's premium.
Wow.
So buyer's premium will still be added on top of that right there. So like I said, this is where it gets spicy. Okay, so we have had our first item sold here that we've actually had open on tabs.
What is that?
This is the XY Evolution sealed case. So in a sealed case, you get 6 booster boxes, and the boxes inside are sealed. Obviously, Dean is going to do some quick math.
820 a box. That's actually not too bad.
So XY Evolutions 2016, based on the original base set. Obviously you've seen with the artwork on the staff stamp Zard.
Yeah, I mean the price range for Evolutions booster boxes seems to be a little bit quite different. Sometimes they go for a little bit cheaper. Sometimes you see them go for 1,000. They creeped up to 1,000. They went down a bit, but they're slowly getting back up there. So
yeah, I think it's very expensive for what it actually is. Don't get me wrong, I love Evolutions and it's fun to open, but I do think it is still quite like you don't really get your value back when you're opening. Do you know, like unless you're, for me, I find it crazy the Evolutions is the price it is personally.
You have to hit a 10.
And we know how tough Evolutions is with print lines. A big problem that we see with Evolutions is the off-center and even having the alignment dots on the cards. Yeah. I see it more often with Evolutions than I do.
The thing is that Evolutions was getting printed to the ground. It was in every product.
Yeah.
People
it was in Pokeballs, like literally everything.
People were getting sick of Evolutions. You could buy in 2019. You could buy a box for £100 or $100 probably.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden they've just creeped up in such a short period of time for such a large amount of money. It's just crazy. You'd think like, oh, it's going to go down again, but it's just as continue to keep going up and up and up.
Chloe just won a game. Chloe, incredible!
Oh, nice.
What graded game did you win?
Yeah, that's crazy. Did you get the blue Pokemon Blue? That'd be sick.
The full art Mario, currently at 3,960. Oh,
sold.
So this has gone significantly lower than it did the other week. Oh. I'm just looking at Butler here. Can you remember? Was it over 5,000 with buyer's premium? Right, so literally a couple of weeks ago with buyer's premium, this went for over $5,000. This has sold at 3,960. So is it like, again, I did think where it was heading was exceptionally high. So actually a little bit more reasonable from what we've seen.
And that's
prior.
what you get sometimes. You get just a freak buy, I guess you'd call it. You know, someone that's just really interested, or you get a few people that are after the same card at the same time, so it sometimes goes for a little bit more.
So we're seeing a drop on that one. So the sealed box, which contains that card and the half art, just sold for $3,480. So if you didn't want to buy the 10 but you wanted to take the chance of buying the box yourself, opening it, trying to grade those cards, they normally grade fairly well. I've been fairly lucky. I've opened quite a few sealed boxes myself, you could get the whole box with everything that comes inside the box, like the sleeves, the dividers, etc., the deck box, and the 2 cards for $3,480. So obviously you then have to take into consideration grading the cards, waiting for them to come back, etc. The Luigi box has sold for $3,120, and the full art sold for $2,640. So again, healthy prices on the box. Like I said, I bought both the boxes last year. I bought both the boxes 2021. I think was the last time I bought them sealed for around $3,000. So obviously over $3,000 each now. So it's quite a lot.
PokeKid asked me to look up the pop report of the Staff Charizard.
Yeah.
And in a PSA 9, 258 are in a PSA 9, and in a PSA 10 there are 38.
Okay.
So hopefully that helps.
Green Tea's just hit us with a fun fact. In week 3, so it was the 3rd stream we did. I knew it was early on. Yeah. The Blue Eyes White Zard sold for 8.1k. 8k was in my head as well. Yeah. So we have got that open.
8.8k.
Oh.
8.1k.
Guys, you know what I mean. So the PSA 10 Pika went for $1,920.
What's that?
The E3 Pika is still going at $2,900 in a 10. This is tough to grade in a 10. I've never been able to do it. I've sent in quite a few copies myself. So I'm going to keep that open just to see where it goes. Okay. Massive difference. So week 3, bear in mind we're on week 12 now, and we did have a 2-week break when we were traveling. So technically week 14 in a way, from since we started streaming. So week 3 when we were streaming, so back in February, this card, well, not this exact card, but the same, another copy, graded like this, sold for $8,100. This is sold for $1,110.
That is a big difference.
This one we notice is a 70 million cert, newly graded.
Was the other one authentic, or was it a PSA 10?
Mike's just said sequential certs on the 2 white Zards.
Oh, interesting.
So the one that we saw sold back in Feb is sequential to this. Is that what we're saying, Mike? So maybe it was it must have just been graded when it went up.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Thinking about that now, I vaguely remember
we're on
them being newer certs.
I was going to say, that's a 70.
Yeah, so it actually ties up.
Yeah.
So, Mike, are we saying this is literally that's really interesting.
7.
Yeah, it is.
6.3, yeah.
And this is 6.2. So potentially looks like the same person graded them. The Blue Crow was 6.42. I remember thinking it was a potential that they'd been, the Mew and the Charizard before had been graded by the same person. So now we're talking about it. I remember them being fairly close. Okay, so huge difference right there. Personally, I thought it was quite exceptionally high when it sold the first time, over 8,000. Bear in mind, the PSA 10 copy of this, I think at the time was selling for around 6,000.
Yeah.
So a sun damage, whatever you want to call it, selling more than a PSA 10 blew my mind quite a bit. And now we're seeing maybe a correction in the price right there. But yeah, there we go. Interesting. Very interesting. Glad we kept that one open. We have missed the next bidding window, I think, because we've been chatting too much. But the Raw E3 went for $516. Good price on that. And then the Celebrations UPC went for $372. Can you remember what the retail on this was? How much did you pay?
120. 100, it was like 120 or 150.
Was that pounds?
Yeah.
Right. It was the same.
Yeah.
The amount it was in pounds was the same in dollars, so it wasn't like it wasn't
But
converted.
what? When did we buy one last year? Like
no, year before. Oh, you mean when
April.
we were in America? Yeah.
And that what? I think we
That
paid
was
300.
a year ago.
So it's
it's
not gone up that much.
It's not gone crazy. It's not gone crazy. Okay, right. So we're gonna do a little refresh because we were on 1135 right there.
Was the Rayquaza sold?
It looks like it has. The Rayquaza sold for $38,400. So whoever guessed around the 40,000 mark, you weren't far off. So there it is. Big price right there. We've got 7,500 on the 9. So again, even though there is still a huge difference between the two, the 9 still goes for
a lot
of money. It's still a lot of money on the PSA 9. Rocket Box has gone for $12,000.
That's pretty standard.
We had was there a Rocket Box last week or the week before? I think
it was
yeah.
before
So we've had a couple of these recently. The master set of the first edition base set, that's a variation of BGS slabs and raw cards, sold for $9,900 right there. We've got the Pikachu selling for $8,700 from the design contest. Beautiful card, really nice price on that. Again, very low pot 1 of 4. The Staff Stamp Evolution Zard has sold for $6,600. Again, like we said, this is it's an expensive card, just in case anyone's thinking what's going on here. Yeah. It's an Evolution Zard. It's the Staff Stamp pre-release, so it's a big card. We saw that, the seal case. I think I forgot to close that. And the E3 is still going, I'm going to keep that up. So we're now down. So that was 1,300 cards, I think. We're now down to 100. Oh my goodness, I just said 117. I meant 117. I'm just adding in extra figures there. So the highest price card right now is the E3. And if we go all the way down here, there's only 5 pages left. And the lowest price card is, drumroll please.
Oh, that Mew's sick. That's from Legendary Treasures.
Yes, we'll talk about that one in a second. Is $15, and it is a Pokemon Top Series 3 Venusaur. So a little bit of everything. So going to the Legendary Treasures, not only is this one of my favorite cards from the set, it's up there. I've got a few cards that are my favorite from the set. This is what you would call the chase card from Legendary Treasures. I actually did a box break not too long ago. We actually opened a pack of Legendary Treasures today.
Both did, yeah.
We both got some spicy hits.
We did.
I won't say what they are because watch the videos coming soon. This in Japanese in a 10 goes for big bucks.
Yeah.
In English in a 10, I haven't seen any recent sales, but again, it probably holds a nice price. It's just a beautiful card. So within Legendary Treasures, you get the Radiant Collection, which is like the subset basically, and the Hollow Sparkle, I'll call it, on these cards is
it's different.
It's a beauty.
Yeah.
It is a beauty. So yeah, really nice card. And as you can see, this is the raw card you're buying, and it's been authenticated by the Mike Baker authentication right there. So we've got everything at this level. We have got base sets. We have got
Shiny,
Vivid Voltage.
Yeah, Galarian. Obsidian.
We've got Japanese Team Rocket. Like you said, there was a huge swirl on that Blastoise there, which is really nice.
Shiny Swablu there.
Literally, whatever you are looking for.
It's not Swablu.
Swablu, yeah. And the next window has just gone, so we're going to do a little refresh right there, see where we are. Is the E3 has gone for 3,840. So yeah, in a 10, Red Cheeks, good price on that one. Nice card. Would love to own it in a 10 one day. Right, so if I go to page 1 and see where we are, I think we were on 117 cards, and I swear that just ended.
It did.
Gonna do a little refresh right there.
But then that happened earlier.
It did.
Yeah, so it's still going.
How weird.
Yeah.
But even it came up on here that it had sold as well. It's obviously like a step ahead of itself. Anyway,
so you're still in the last card standing. You went Pikachu.
Pikachu, I did indeed. We'll have a little scroll through, see if any. What was yours?
Mewtwo.
But
what? You went for the E3 Pika.
Oh. Butler just has to be right every single time. We still got a graded game.
Yep.
Sold for 1,400. See, these are saying sold. Even though I've refreshed the page. We'll keep scrolling. Shining Noctowl still going.
Any Mewtwo's?
Mewtwo, where are you? Right, we'll have a look. We'll look through the 5 pages, see where we are. So again, already on page 2. Oh, I love that. The McDonald's Fire Energy. You were saying how you would actually love to get that McDonald's Charmander in a 10. What was the price on that? Someone had it this weekend, didn't they?
300.
We've seen the Charmander up a few times on auction, actually. Look at the swirl on that. So this is the 2002 McDonald's promos. They don't make McDonald's promos now like they used to. That is all I'm going to say. But yeah, that's a beauty right there. Really, really like that one.
There's still a Mewtwo.
I just caught a glance on your screen there. Now it says 56 results. Oh, yeah. So I think that did sell. Did it?
Not too sure.
Bit of a glitch. Oh, we got an Ancient Mew right there in a 9.5 CGC. Currently it's $62. We got some Japanese celebrations. We were talking a lot about celebrations because we had the UPC. The Japanese got the 25th stamp on it. Do you prefer the Japanese or the English? And chat, let me know. What do you prefer?
I think I actually prefer the Japanese on these. I think the borders are popping. I really like them.
With the big three, I can definitely see.
I still need to grade mine. I've got them in Chinese, the Charizard, Chinese, Japanese, and English. So I'm gonna like sequentialize them. But I just haven't got around to doing it yet.
Right, chat. Did he or did he not just make up a new word there? If sequentialize is in the dictionary,
do you know what I mean? Do you understand what I meant?
I do know what you mean.
So then it's a word.
So the other week it was East Carolina and Rothingham. This week it's sequentialize, people. I'm gonna put that one on a t-shirt. I think.
Put that in the dictionary.
We got the Japanese AR subset right here. Taz is saying Japanese for sure.
Yeah.
Japanese AR7. For me, still prefer the English personally. These Japanese ARs have that double hollow pattern. One way you catch it, it's like the horizontal lines. Other way, it's the other hollow pattern.
That Mew is the best rainbow Mew in the Sword and Shield era. So nice.
Beautiful.
Love it.
Dean has been making up words on a town. He's been flying. Japanese. Fusion Arts.
Yeah, beautiful.
We got that's Brilliant Stars Arceus there in a PSA 10. Really like that card. $30.
I was watching a video about that Meowth, that Rocket's Meowth. I can't remember who. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say who drew it because there's a story behind it, but I can't remember what it was.
Sequentialized.
Guess we'll never know.
Green tea. It's not.
Is it?
No, it's not.
Yes.
Tell
us the story about Dean's glasses. I've got hay fever. So my eyes are really puffy.
So fun language barrier fact right here. The use of Z in a lot of words is an American thing. We use S. What is it that I always type on email and Gmail always tries to autocorrect
Loads of words.
Organize. We use S with organize. You guys use Z. And we say Z, not Z. So there's your little English versus American.
Every day is a school day, people.
Every day is a school day. Yeah, sequentialization is the conversion of a parallel algorithm into sequential form.
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant.
That is exactly where Dean was going.
Exactly
I can confirm that's exactly what he meant. He knew what he was doing.
So I want to get all my 3 Charizards to the conversion of a parallel algorithm into sequential form. What's up, Hercules?
The wildest thing you ever said, ever. See? Oh my goodness. Welcome in, guys. Just a reminder, if you haven't already, please hit that like button on your way in. It would be greatly appreciated. If you're enjoying the stream, do let us know. And also, let us know if you've won anything. It's gone a bit quiet in the chat. Have we had any outbids going on? Okay, so the E3 Pika is holding strong. Starting to irritate me because the butler said specifically it was going to be the E3 Pikachu. We've had a few more sold right here. That Rayquaza, 2100. The Japanese Vaporeon Play promo, 2200 in a 10. Really, really nice card. So we were on 56 items, and we're going to do a refresh in a moment. Oh, there it is. There's the Lugia promo that I missed that earlier. So I actually own this card.
Is Chloe still
I bought
bidding?
This last year.
Keep going, Chloe.
Oh, Chloe, whatever you're going for, best of luck. Best of luck. You do have to let us know. Yeah, I own this card in a 10 as well. This is brand new as well. Brand new graded 72 mil set.
Oh no, I know.
No, yeah. Bought this last year actually. So really nice card.
Thanks, Eugene. Appreciate you, bro.
E3's just gone up to 3400.
Wow. NKH 11 bids, 1 so far going in.
Right, let's do a little refresh to see 56 down 2. Drum roll, please. That was my drum roll.
What drum was that?
A different drum roll. 30 items now. 3 minutes on this window. We got Japanese Prime Celebi right there.
Love Prime cards.
I love that, Luga. I can't believe that's up. That's the first time I've seen that since we've been doing these streams. Another really cool Latios right there. Love the colours on that one.
Won some raw Japanese platinum cards. Nice. Congrats.
Ooh. Very, very nice.
Wow, a lot of winners in the building today.
I won the PSA 10 Japanese 2021 Gold Mew, CGC 9.5 2021 Rainbow Mew, and the 96 Cardass Bandai CGC 5 Mew. I take it you're a Mew collector.
Love it.
Lovely pickups there. Congratulations. Lots of really, really nice pickups this evening. Love this. This is the Japanese Shining Legends. Shining Lugia in a PSA 10 right there. So again, at this level, we've got everything from 2017, 1999 Jungle, 2021. So you can see how there's a real big variation. PSA 10, PSA 10, PSA 10 as well. So we're not even talking the vintage being like a PSA 2. We got a first edition Pikachu from Jungle in a PSA 10 here, currently at $90. We got some graded stickers. We've seen quite a few of these recently as well. Oh, I won the Ancient Mew from the Pokemon movie. Was that the CGC one? Oh no, not that one. I think there might have been a few of them. Right, we're going to go on to page 2 right here and see where we are. We still got the Mew EX going, very, very nice. Some nice cards, actually. So the lowest value card that's currently running is the Reshiram. So this is also from Legendary Treasures, which is where the Mew is from. Again, the Radiant Collection, beautiful card. It's why I love the set so much. You can literally pull 2 to 3 hits out of one pack with the Radiant Collection. So for me, it just makes it the best black and white set.
Agree.
Where's the oh yeah, there it is, sorry. I was like, where's number 1 gone? Yeah, for me, it's the best black and white set. You can't beat it. Your last card.
It's gone. Let's not talk about it. I've lost.
And I was going to say Tortank could have saved you, but even Tortank wasn't going to save you this week. There was no Tortanks. No Tortanks at all. Pikachu's still going. Only one.
It's because Tortank's not in the chat.
Oh, yeah. Where's Tortank tonight? We are missing the one and only Tortank.
No idea.
The one and only Tortank. I think what we're going to do is we're just going to have a little look at next week's auction. So we're not going to be here for next week's auction, but I am going to do some content on some of the cards. Talking about these design contests, we have the top card is Pop 1 of 1, PSA 8. This is the Japanese design contest Arceus. This is the 6th grade winner. I mean, this is really, really good. Like some of the, when you think of the age of some of the kids that were doing these designs.
Mine would not look like
that. No, even now mine wouldn't be looking like that. So we got that coming up next week.
Unicarp.
We got a Unicarp in a 4-card. I think this is the first time we've seen a Unicarp since we've been doing these streams. That in a PSA 4 coming up, currently at 3,000. We got another Ray, but this time it's a Beckett 9. So we saw the PSA 9 end for 7.5 roughly.
7.5.
So this is at 2,700. It'll be interesting to see where that goes.
Oh,
guys, sit down, get ready.
It's already at 2.5.
So next week we're going to be in France. So it's actually going to be like 3 a.m. when this starts. So what I'll do is when I wake up on the Monday morning, I will have a little look and see where some of these items ended. Because I'm going to be really intrigued on this one. But I will do a little bit of content like with some of my top picks coming up for next week. So make sure, even though we're not here next week, make sure if you can watch and take a look in, see where everything's going, and then on the following week you can let us know what you were bidding on, if you won anything, and we'll do a little recap from the previous week. We got a black label shiny Zard. That's nice. We've also got a PSA 10 goals. We got some big cards coming up next week, guys. We got a first edition base set pack graded in a 10 as well. Black label Moonbreon on eBay only went for around 7k a few weeks ago, which is a pretty much half price drop compared to the 12k I think we saw a few weeks before that on PWCC. Shining Zard in a 10. Oh, we got some big cards next week, people. This
is my auction.
This gets bigger and better. Right, so that's a sneak peek as to what's coming up next week, guys. So remember, you can literally keep your eye on that all week. It's there. It's ready for you guys to watch. Right. This is still going at 3,500. I feel like the butler has a sixth sense, literally. Right. Let's have a look here. We're down to 21 items left, guys. E3 Pika still going strong right there. We still got the Marnie, which is the, is that perfect? I really need to get some glasses. My eyesight is getting worse. Yeah, I mean, your glasses are for a different purpose this evening, but we feel it. So are we still just on one page, or have we still got 2 pages?
NKH
one page
says, what's your favorite card from your collection? Any story behind it?
Oh, that's a good question. Of like favorite of all time. Oh my goodness, that's tough because I have like a couple of different ones for different reasons. So one of them would be a card that I own with Dean, and I hope that yours would also fall in the category. So we last year went to the London World Championships in 2022, and it was on our doorstep in London, obviously, and it was our first Worlds as well. So we wanted to do something to commemorate it, and what we ended up doing wasn't quite what I thought would happen, but it couldn't have gone any better. We ended up being able to purchase a copy of the #1 trainer from one of the winners. Never thought that would even be a possibility. It happened on the last night. We met a friend of the winner. Met a friend of the friend who then set things in motion, and it was a few months of negotiating and putting the deal together. We actually had to fly to Prague to pick it up. We've done a video both on each of our channels, and it's a card that we're actually going to get graded this year. We're going to be taking it to PSA in June, when we head over for Card Party, which we were talking about earlier. And
incredible story behind it. Incredible moment.
There's a lot behind that, because Worlds for me is like a period of time. Basically, I think we said it when we were there. I felt like we weren't in the real world for that weekend. We were in our own little world of worlds.
We were at the same place this weekend. So
yeah,
for the Worlds, it was the European Championships, and they're really fun events. They're just very, very. It's so much jam-packedness. Like everything happens.
I remember. I didn't feel it as much today, but I remember the last day of Worlds last year. We were broken.
Yeah,
we were sitting in the arena watching the final, and every inch of energy had been drained from our bodies. Yeah. But it was one of the best experiences ever.
Yeah,
I think
great.
I've ever had.
And hopefully, we can go to this year's, which is in Japan.
We'll top it in Japan. Yeah, so that'd be one of the cards. I have a couple of Chansey cards. I'm a Chansey collector. In my collection, again, that I never necessarily thought I would get my hands on or own. And again, you're a Charizard collector, so I suppose you've got a few.
Yeah, I've got a few. I still want a few, but obviously Charizard is just
expensive.
Yeah, ridiculous prices.
When you're trying to, I think with a lot of popular Pokemon, if you're trying to get some of the bigger cards, especially in PSA 10s, it's always going to be a lot of money one way or the other. So I suppose it's just that these are like long-term goals that you can work towards. Yeah, we will be going to Japan for the 2023 Worlds, which I'm really looking forward to.
Thanks, Luxury Ball Guy. Yeah, I've got allergies today and my eyes are just really puffy, so the glasses had to make an appearance.
Had to come out.
They've made an appearance all weekend. So.
Oh, Ball Guy, don't get me wrong, I love a Blissey, but Chansey all day. Wesley, welcome in.
Wesley?
Thank you for joining. Appreciate
Chloe, what
you.
did you win in the end? Did we miss what you won?
Oh yeah, let us know.
You won a game, right?
Green tea. That is exactly what we're doing. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for the content coming on that. Right. It's about to refresh, people. We're on 21 items. Oh, okay. So the E3 Pika has sold for $4,200. Now, is it definitely sold this time? We'll do a little refresh.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yep, it's gone.
There we go. So we're now down to our minute bidding window. So this window runs from 8 till 8:01 Pacific time, that is. And the current highest is the Celebi Japanese Prime at 350. This is pop 1 of 1 in a BGS 9. I literally just noticed that
9.5.
right there. 9.5, sorry. Yeah. Lugia's still going. Pikachu. Butler is out. I am still in with the jungle Pikachu right there. We still got this Pikachu stuck.
You can never go wrong. Guys, if you're new to this game...
Do you remember the first week? It was an Arbok and a Caterpie, was it? Or something completely random? It was
Pikachu
fun.
is a safe bet, guys. If you're trying to play the last card game, go Pikachu. because
Right.
there's always a Pika.
That bidding window has already ended. This is what I mean. It flies by at this point. Celebi sold for 420.
Chloe said I got outbid on the TCG Pokemon trading card game for 440, but 228 on the Metal Gear Solid graded Xbox. No way.
There we go, Chloe.
That Pokemon game is iconic. Yeah, that's such a shame. I love that game. I literally had that as a kid. It's so fun.
So there are 4. So this is interesting. Last week, there were about 30 items left at this point. There's only 4 items. So we have the
Meowth.
Rocket's Meowth. Ever since you spoke about it, is that a perfect or a pristine? That's a pristine.
Did I want to know who drew it. Is it Sugamori? I feel like that's... Who's the illustrator?
No, it's not Sugamori. I need to zoom in for this one.
Oh, no. There was something about this one. I think this person had something to do with the game, and this was like the only one he's ever like illustrated.
Oh, amazing!
It was something like that. I can't remember, but it's like quite a unique.
Currently at 40
bucks
promo. Right there. So the Ancient Mew in a CGC 9.5 sold for $84 right there. And we'll do a little refresh, which brings us down to 3. So these are the last 3 standings. So if you guess Lugia, Pikachu or Meowth, you are currently winning. So I can't believe that Lugia has made it the whole way through. Bear in mind, I didn't even see it when we saw the Ho-Oh earlier, and then we caught our eye on it. So $230 on the PSA 10 Lugia. We got $105 on the Jungle Pikachu, and then $41 on the Meowth. They've all had another bid, so they are going in to the next bidding window. So as you can see, it gets really, really quick at this point. It's minute bidding windows, and it is quick fire. And when there's like 30 odd items left at this point, that's when it can get really tough to like, especially if you're bidding on a few of them. You need to be like an octopus, but with all your different eyes rather than your tentacle. Yeah, because it's a lot to keep your eye on and try and stay on top of. That Meowth's popular. It's just had another bid straight away.
Yeah, it might last.
It might. You should have gone for the Meowth.
Should have gone for it.
But you didn't see. I think we'd guessed before
we went
got
for
the
an
chance to see it.
Early
Yeah.
prediction.
It's your favourite Pokemon game, Chloe.
Yeah, it's so good.
You've done well this
So
evening.
good.
Has anyone else at this point won anything they were bidding on? Just out of interest, people. Let us know if you won anything this evening. Also, have you had a little sneak peek after we just had a look at next week's auction? Is there anything you're interested in? Is there anything you got your eye on already? Remember, you can keep your eye on the auction all week, and you can watch it live again next Sunday. Like I said, unfortunately, we are in Paris, but I'm going to do a little bit of content to make up for that. So do not worry. There'll be some things going up. Did that?
Did that glitch?
Oh, we've had a.
It went green.
We've had a glitch right there. Let me do a refresh. Don't know if it's my computer. No, they're all still going. Because I'm pretty sure only that one had gone green, and then.
Yeah, it did, and that's gone red. That was interesting.
Oh, green tea
has
that Meowth in a PS9. Oh, Aaron won the money perfect 10.
Oh,
very
congrats.
nice, Aaron. Lovely pick up there. Chloe's already looked at next week and is excited. Ooh. That's what we love to hear. So yeah, you can literally keep your eye on the auction next week. You can place your bids, get in early on some of the items you want. That way you're sort of ready to go. If anyone wants to get on Chloe's Discord voice chat and watch the bids, that might be fun. Yeah, that is something that you guys could do next week, actually. Especially to make up for the fact we won't be here. You guys, because obviously I know there's quite a few, especially of you guys in the US, because it's much more your time zone. And there we go. All the items have sold. So technically,
you won.
Yeah.
You won.
I think that might be the first time.
That's the first ever win.
I'm super happy with that. So the Lugia ended up going for 288. The Pikachu ended up going for 138, and the Meowth for 60. I don't think we've ever seen it where we've got to the end and then all of them just ended at the same time. So guys, that is.
Kid lost on the Meowth.
Oh no way! Maybe there'll be another one coming up on one of the next auctions. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Appreciate you all. We won't be back next week, but we'll be back the week after. Again, remember, keep your eye on the auction. I'll be picking out some of my top picks for this coming week. As you've already seen, there's some very big cards. I want to say thank you to Dean and congrats to Dean as well on your championship this weekend. We all had a great time. So guys, if you haven't already, hit that like button. I will be streaming on Wednesday this week. You're going to be streaming Tuesday on YouTube. Make sure you're following Dean as well, PokeDean on YouTube. So guys, have a great rest of the day, evening, wherever you are, and we will see you next time. Good night, everyone.
Peace.